Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Spirit Journey. And yes, your screen is black right now. It's nighttime. I'm resting in bed. Uh, it is May 27, 2020, and the time is 1:17 a.m. about. I was just listening to a program regarding these super soldiers. I will not mention the name of the program that I was watching, nor the person that I'm really questioning. But what I can say is this is the time of exposure. All these things that's going on right now, you have during this pandemic, if you know what I mean, and all these weird um, procedures and laws and requirements of people. It's just ramping up very quickly, and it's about exposure to truth, to be able to dissect when you hear BS. I I gather that a lot of things that you're hearing, people, you have to start critically listening to people who make elaborate claims and who become popular on certain genres, such as the secret space program. Now, I've learned about the secret space program, introduced to it in 2016, that's 2016. And it was like around in August of that year when I was first introduced to the genre. And I was captivated about it because some of the things I experienced in my life that didn't make sense. And I was in the military, I was in the Navy, and some things that didn't make sense to me, and experiences that was so new to me that didn't make sense. And uh, these experiences that I encountered was when I was in the military. That's when it started. And I've discussed this before, such as um, I had this dream, but it seemed real, and in short, it was, I think, an attack on my psyche during my sleep, and it was the first time something like what happened to me happened, and it was very frightening. It was something of something like they were dressed in the personification of what I call a satanic person. They're wearing all black and had the goatee, the jet black hair, the very white skin, wearing all black, and they were trying to frighten me. That was the goal, to frighten me, and other things that it was just bizarre. This fear that would happen when I tried to read my Bible, and it felt like one time during this time, um, like felt like something was leaving my body, some like my like my essence, part of my essence. It was bizarre, bizarre, bizarre. Never happened before, and and other things happened to me post military. And so when I heard about the super soldiers, it caught my interest, and about what they call the targeted individual, also known as TI. So that's why I started listening to this genre, and I even had an opportunity to interview someone. But I'm really questioning about the whole genre, and I talked about this before, but I'm reminded again about the skepticism that I'm feeling these days, because now I'm in more of a listening. Like earlier, I was just excited about the genre in hopes of discovering what happened to me. And so, but now it's like, hey, wait a minute. So now all the excitement, the emotions are more put in check. Now it's about more of, hey, I want data. I want information. I want something more tangible information, proof about what's going on. What's going on with the military, people who served in the military, the veterans. So I was listening to someone over YouTube. I've heard this individual before, but now it's like when I listen, I was curious. Um, and I listened to quite a while. It was, I think, over an hour long. Yeah, it was over an hour long. I got to like the 54-minute markers. Um, I said, I'm going to stop listening to this and do this video. These are some of the things to look out for when you're listening to someone who makes claims. Things to question. Now, when someone experiences something, especially a trauma, they're not going to be really like stuttering, like saying no, they're going to be more emphatic. When someone has a trauma, if you claim to be a super soldier, then you're talking about trauma, because they're going to take you and the system and going to program you, and part of the programming is going to traumatize you through maybe electric shock therapy, drug therapy, torture, and rape. Okay? And you're not going to glamorize that. You're not going to brag about that. That's a trauma. And you're not going to hesitate. I mean, you're not going to say, you're going to say, hey, this happened to me, blah, 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 blah. They're going to be angry. You're going to hear the pain in them. So look out for that when that's not being present. And what's being present instead is, or are, they're romanticizing their experiences. So it's okay. Well, maybe, people's see what they want to see or remember what they want to remember. Okay. So yes, okay, what do you remember? What to look out for is, do they have detail? Something you've doing that long, you're going to remember some detail. Detail on the type of people you meet. Detail about maybe certain names of people. Detail when someone asks them a question. How do they respond? When they start saying again, okay, that's a clue that they're trying to find something to say. It's not someone who's in the know. Now if someone has a natural stutter pattern, that's something else. But when someone sounds like they're like stuttering because they don't know what to say and they're stalling for time, this could be a clue. Details, details, details. Do they give information about where they're from? Or is there some obscurification? Do they focus on one side versus another side of their family, of their parents? Why so? What else? Do they, when you ask them a specific question, do most of the things what they say is, well, I don't know, or, well, it kind of feels that way, or yeah, what you say that sounds like about right, but they don't add any content. So they give a lot of fluff, a lot of words, but no real content. It's like, what is it like? It's fluff. It's all fluff of fluff, but no meat. Watch out for these speakers who have no meat, MEAT, in their hero sandwich. They want to be heroes, but there's no meatball in there. Stop wondering why there's no meat in their hero sandwich. Isn't the whole point, if you want to consider yourself a hero, you're going to have some meat in there to share with the people. That's why you're on these social media, to share your meat. Is there any meat to share? And what they do share, do you feel satisfied, or do you come away with more confusion? Is what's being said, does it make sense, people? Or are you still more in the dark? Is it when you write them, you send them a message, an email or instant message, do they respond to your inquiry? Now, I wrote to this person. In fact, I wrote to 3 people. I mean, total 4 people, but 3 of them did. They never respond. No, wait. One kind of responded, but they did not want to be interviewed. And the other 2, there was no acknowledgement whatsoever. Ask yourself, why didn't they respond? And you have an honest request. And I'm the type of person that I believe in sharing first. I introduce myself. I indicate that I have this YouTube channel. I indicate that I'm a veteran. I indicate what military branch. I indicate the specifics of things that happened to me, and that I would like to talk to them about certain things with my experience, and to try to get some understanding and something that I might have even known about them. And I did not get a response. Why wouldn't they want to contact me? A fellow military person, military likes military. But why don't they respond? well. Could it possibly be that when they perceive someone being legit, could possibly expose their lack of knowledge about certain protocols in the military or about certain events? Because see, you would know basically what type of questions you would want to ask someone like them to try to help understand what may have happened to you. They seem to have all these connections. Yeah. And I contacted this other person who's supposed to be like the who's who in the secret space program that has all this a database. And then there's a message that says on the person's YouTube channel, oh, they're not taking any requests. But this person who's no longer taking requests had reached out to the same individual that I questioned their legitimacy. Why is that? So you're going to reach out to some other person, and the content that they have is really no content. I wasn't even in the military long. I don't know a lot of stuff. I just know what I experience, and that's basically it. I'm not in this for like 100 years. I did a short stint in the military. And so what about these people? Why didn't this other person who has the database and has all this information and could approach a person whose information seems kind of questionable, but when I go and want to get answers to get help, there's nothing and there's no way to get in contact with. So how are these other questionable people are able to get access to this person and get information from them? I start to wonder whether these people support each other in the lies. Let me tell you what I mean. I'll cover your lie and you cover my lie. You know what I'm getting at? So they're both helping each other in the storytelling about their lives. But when someone genuine comes in the picture, they never respond. So I question, why aren't they responding? I've been out on social media since I think 2014, so I'm not like some new chick on the block. I'm open. I want to be an open book on my channel. So what's the problem? Why is it that they don't want to discuss these topics with black people? And they'll only let maybe one black person, that person supposedly has someone of a particular, Caucasian background. And so they only allow that one person who's like half and half, but nobody else. So they have their what do you call it, their pet, but no other pet is allowed in. I just want answers. I just want to find out what's going on. That's it. So this is now the age of awakening, you people. Because see, I think a lot of people are going to be exposed. Start looking with your heart, and it's going to open up more. If you choose to see with your heart, you're going to really start seeing through them. And listen to any of these interviews, and like when the interviewer asks a specific question, really listen to their response. Is there meat for their hero sandwich? Are they offering you? If there's no meat slash content, real data, start questioning. When any important question is being answered by these interviewers to the alleged experiencer, start noticing their response. And sometimes you get so good at knowing how the person is going to respond because you know that there's no meat for their meatball hero sandwich. Okay? So, I feel that by my telling you this, it's going to spare you a lot of your time with some of these discussions. And I'm starting to think now, what I'm learning now, see, there is a genre, and there is a super soldier game, computer game, where a lot of young males wannabe listen to and play, and so they already know some of the uh, like each of these games have like a storyline. So I'm starting to believe that they're memorizing the storyline of these super soldier video games, and then that they are attributing these games to their lives and experience when it may not be the case. And when someone authentic has served in the military and has an honest uh, question and they're being ignored, they don't want you in because they have the genre cornered for themselves. They only will invite people that support one another in their genre. So all the conventions or what you call conferences, it's always the same people. You don't get any real people who served in the military, who have legitimate concerns, questions about their own personal history, because if they do invite them, they don't have any answers for these people because they haven't really rehearsed the lie enough to convince a person who really did serve in the military, who may have been under some type of experimentation or some type of manipulation upon them. You see what I'm getting at? Listen closely to the responses they give. If you find like over half of the questions is being evaded, or they did respond, but they didn't actually answer the question, listen to what the question is closely and see, did they really answer the question, and is it consistent, their stories, if these individuals are interviewed by more than one interviewer over the years or months. Really start listening, and you're going to see there is no meat for their meatball hero. They want to be heroes, but there's no meat when you cut it. Okay? So, that's all that I wish to share right now, so that you could start really evaluating what content is being pushed out there, and to know that you don't have to waste your time with some people because there's no meat to their story. Okay, so you enjoy this beautiful, beautiful day. And for you veterans out there who are really suffering, and maybe have been under some type of control via the drugs that the vaccines and drugs, or the mind game or the electrical whatever that they may have done to some of you. My heart goes out to you, and stay strong, and you're not alone. You are not alone. Start meditating and going within to soothe your mind, because you are a true winner. Thank you again, you people who are listening. Peace, guys. Bye bye.